the Democratic Alliance is electing new leaders this weekend to take Gauteng into the 2024 general elections. The party leader, John Steenhuisen, is currently addressing the gathering in Boksburg. Let's take you there live.
Where people came together from all backgrounds and all parts of the country to build a better future for their families. This is where business empires were built. This is where workers built cars and miners bought back treasures from deep within the bowels of the earth. Where our factories hummed day and night and where our cities never slept. Where the heartbeats of millions of young students and young people made us optimistic about the future. Where the hustle and bustle was addictive and where a better tomorrow beckoned for all who dared to reach for it. But that Gauteng, as we once knew it, is today on life support. The heartbeat of this economy has become very, very faint and very, very irregular. The bright lights of the cities have dimmed, as load shedding has now turned our once vibrant streets into no-go zones. Where the gold and the minerals that once financed and our great industrial economy, and today those same minerals fund the criminal zama-zamas who terrorize our communities. Where our great railways served as the arteries carrying opportunities to all corners of the province, roads now explode in the middle of Johannesburg. Potholes, the size of craters, claim lives every day. They say overseas they drive on the left, but in South Africa you drive on what's left. Our traffic lights are being sawn off in broad daylight. Our cables are being stolen in front of our very eyes. And in many areas, the only water people receive for weeks on end is in the form of sewage running down their streets. The city streets and the restaurants that once hustled and bustles sit abandoned, and there are for sale signs across streets in every single suburb. Where generations of South Africans once flocked to Gauteng, they are now running as quickly as possible away from Gauteng. More than anywhere else, what has happened here in this great province has come to symbolize the betrayal by the ANC of the potential of the people of our country. 30 years into our democracy, this province, Gauteng, should have been one of the great city regions of the world. Gauteng was once home to the South African dream, but under the ANC, it has become the South African nightmare. And believe you me, if you think things are bad, I can tell you, Democrats, they can get a lot worse. And make no mistake about it, the ANC knows that their days are numbered. That's why, as Ivan said, they convened a whole dialogue in Cape Town on coalitions. A governing party admitting that they know that the days of their majority are over. But, Democrats, a wounded buffalo is the most dangerous animal in the bush. And we've already seen how the ANC intends to cling to power here in Gauteng. They've already shown us the plan for 2024 by forming Doomsday coalitions with the EFF and the Patriotic Alliance in some of the municipalities in this province. Panyaza Lesufi is on record for saying he wants to bring this same Doomsday coalition to the provincial government next year, where the ANC and the EFF will seek to work with the treacherous in the parties like the PA. Make no mistake, a vote for the ANC in Gauteng in 2024 will be a vote for the EFF. And equally, a vote for parties like the PA, Al-Jamar, Good and Cope, will be a vote for the treacherous who have taken those votes and sold their people out to the ANC. The ANC is prepared to do this, knowing full well what Julius Malema and the EFF are capable of. The violence, the division, just as they reminded us at their rally just 2 weeks ago. And for those of you who are waiting for me to suddenly start lifting off the ground, I'm afraid you're going to be very disappointed. Because we're a party that's not above the people, we're on the ground with the people. We've got to do everything we can in our power, Democrats, to rescue this province and our country from the Doomsday coalition. And this is where the moonshot pact comes into the picture. While the Doomsday coalition represents a clear and present danger to the people of South Africa, the 2024 election will be the best opportunity that the DA has of winning real power in Gauteng. Now, you'll recall at our Federal Congress just up the road in April, I announced that immediately following the election that I was going to set about trying to bring the opposition together, to end the infighting, so that we could work together with like-minded parties to defeat the ANC and keep the EFF out of power. And once again, those naysayers in the media who've always got a lot to say, have always got to point out where people stumble and to be negative about what we're doing, said it's never going to happen. Some of them said it was moonshine, not moonshot. Some of them said we'd never get it right. Well, I'm happy to report that next week, right here in Gauteng, the first national convention of the Moonshot Pact will be taking place at Emperor's Palace. And it will be at Emperor's Palace, and before people say you're taking a gamble on the future of South Africa, that's where the CODESA negotiations were held. And just as they bought a new blueprint for the future of South Africa, we're going to make sure that the Moonshot Pact coalition brings out a new and better future for the people of South Africa. And we hope to emerge from there with an agreement that the group of parties represented in the pact will focus on providing not just a way to get the ANC out of power, but providing an alternative to the ANC, bringing the very best of the opposition benches around the table, leaving beside the egos and the scars of battles past, and focusing on what we can do together to rescue Gauteng, rescue the country, and make sure we can start to build a better, brighter, more prosperous future for the people of South Africa.
Well done, John.
But here's the good news for you here in Gauteng. And I'm very glad Helen's left, because she said she doesn't like sharing some of the polling. But I can share with you today that we are polling as the Moonshot Pact parties as high as 48% in Gauteng already. That's just 2% short of a majority. And we haven't even started the election campaign yet. What a great way to start, Democrats. I haven't seen a launch pad like that in many, many years. And I'm absolutely convinced that if we all go out and we do what needs to be done, and we convince more people to vote for our party, we will get well over the 50% next year to form a new government and to liberate this province from the clutches of the ANC and usher in a new government. And so I say to the other parties that have not yet joined the pact and who have so far chosen not to attend next week, some exciting news you'll hopefully read in the newspapers tomorrow about some new people who've joined and will be sitting around the table with us. But I say to those parties that have so far said that they want to remain aloof from the pact, the door is still open. Our hands are open and generous. Come and join us around the table so that together we can use the best chance South Africa's had in over 30 years to strike bravely forth in a new direction. Don't waste this opportunity through pettiness, through silliness, through irrelevant arguments about the New World Order and things like that. We don't have the luxury of time. We need you around the table. Your voters need you around that table. So join hands and together let's march determinedly forward into that next election. But make no mistake, a big and growing DA is going to be central to make the moonshot pact succeed. In 2019, the DA got 27% in Gauteng. We can, and Democrats, we must grow beyond that.
Okay, there you have it there. That's the DA leader, John Steenhuisen there, speaking at the party's DA Congress in Benoni. And of course, touching on the dialogue on coalitions that happened last week, says there was a last-ditch attempt by the ruling party to try cling on to power. He says a vote for the ANC in 2024 will be a vote for the EFF. And he also says the party is on the ground with the people. And touching on the party's moonshot pact, he says they are tightening the knots and bolts on that front, and the party says, of course, they're engaging some parties and they will focus on providing an alternative to the ANC and what he called the best in what the opposition can offer. And according to his statistics, he says they are now polling at 48% with that moonshot pact.